Hello everyone, welcome back to Susie Saves. I am Susie. We are a dual income household where we do cash stuffing, zero-based budgeting, which is super exciting and also a lot of words. So basically, every Friday I go to the bank and I pull money out for what we're going to spend that week, and we spend in cash. The zero-based just means that every dollar we get, I tell it where to go. I award it a place to be. I don't like to have money that's floating in the ether. So basically, I do math once a week to make sure that money doesn't slip through my fingertips, which it so often did in the past. Today is June 19th, which is the days that we get paid on. It's Fridays. We have my income from my 9 to 5 and my husband's. A few people were asking about us, which is very cool that you're interested. My husband is an area manager for a very large corporation, and I am a chemist. Those are our occupations. We both worked a full 40 hours. Well, because he's the manager, he is salary, so he tends to work over 40 hours. But we both worked full-time last week. I made $790. And he made $950. So that brings our total to spend this week up to $1,740. So now we just need to make sure that all of our expenses, savings, and sinking funds and debt are not over this number. Otherwise, we would be in the red and we would have to change up something in our life if we wanted to have a better financial outcome. So for expenses, we have our non-variable expenses. These are expenses that are the same every week. I budget weekly. If you budget monthly, you'd want to write down monthly expenses. So for our non-variable expenses, all we have is rent and internet. We live in the mother-in-law suite of his grandparents' house. So they're over 85, and so we help with like household chores, as well as taking care of the outside. They have a pool that they like the grandkids to swim in, so we go and clean that and make sure that's perfect. My husband mows the lawn, rakes the leaves, blows snow, like whatever season it might be. And then we help with like laundry and household chores for them. So our rent is $800 a month. We budget weekly because we get paid weekly, so that's 4 weeks in a month, which gives us $200 a week that we need to budget for that. Our internet, we did negotiate it lower, but I am worried it's going to go higher again, so we've been budgeting the higher amount of $92. Divided by that 4 weeks again gives us $23 a week that we need to put towards our internet. Next, we have variable expenses. These are things that we put a cap on how much we can spend rather than it being a flat bill every time. So we have groceries. It's just me and my husband. We have animals, but those get paid from a separate category. So if we need cat food or special vegetables for the lizards, that comes out of somewhere else. We don't have to like fight our grocery bill for that. We also have a separate fund for paper goods and hygiene products, so we don't ever have to choose between like milk or soap. It was very important to me that we would never have to like worry about toilet paper or paper towels or like shampoo or anything like that. That was never going to eat into our grocery budget. Those are separate things. So for just the two of us, every week we have $60 for groceries. This might seem low to some people, I don't know. We live out in a rural area, so we don't have like city prices, which I know can be a problem for people. But yeah, it's been fine for us. It's gone up and down. Obviously, prices fluctuate a lot, but it's been fine. Gas is $50 for each of us per week. Normally, we have like little beater cars. Normally, my gas is about $40. It tends to be like $36 to $38. His car is a little worse because his drive's a little longer. So he has $50, I get $50, and then the rollover will go somewhere if we need it to. Miscellaneous gets $30. I used to not have a miscellaneous category, but life happens, and sometimes you're out somewhere and you need something, or you're going somewhere and someone says, hey, could you pick this up? And you don't have the correct folder or sinking fund on you. This allows a little bit of money on us that we could pull in and out of sinking funds if we need to, or something unexpected pops up. We can say yes to it. After that is subscriptions. We have YouTube Premium for my husband's job, and then I have a gym membership. Both of these are $20 a month, so we divide that by 4 again for 4 weeks in the month, and that gives us $5 a week, so perfectly fine there. When my husband started his job, obviously it more than doubled our income, and that allowed us to sit down and decide if we wanted spending money or like non-discretionary use money of just whatever we wanted. Before this, I did not make enough money to cover the bills and also have an allowance, a spending amount. So we sat down and we decided how much is too much, what would not change our finances too much, but still give us like some breathing room, some money to spend where we wanted to. And so we did come out with an amount for both of us for a spending money. And the amount that we decided on is $50. As I have maybe mentioned before, I'm not a financial expert. This is not financial advice. Normally people say that your spending money should be 20%. I think 30% of your income, which for us would be $500. Obviously, this is only $100, so it's just what we found that works for us, because we're really focused on savings right now, and we don't feel deprived with having it be this low. How would I... This way? That might be right. Let me make sure. Yeah. Is that right? That could be right. I don't know. But yeah, so this is quite a bit lower than that percentage amount that is normally used by people. I believe this is 5% of our income instead of 20% or 30%, but that's just how it is right now. That's what works for us. We're gonna add all of these up, and it's going to give us our total expenses for the week, which is $523. We're gonna skip savings and go to sinking funds. We have quite a bit of sinking funds. Like I said, we've been doing this for 2 years now, so this is just what we found worked for us. I am thinking about adding some more, but I haven't necessarily decided which ones to add and which ones not to add. Currently, we have car maintenance, and that gets $10 a week. This is for oil change. It has a minimum balance in there of $500 if in case like a tire blows or we need a tow or like an emergency would happen. But otherwise this is just used for oil changes or small repairs. Mostly oil changes. That tends to be what the car needs the most. Tire rotation, right? Alignment. Then we have car insurance. This is only my insurance. My husband and I are still on our respective family plans because it's cheaper that way. Because the more people you have on a plan, the cheaper it becomes. My husband has not had a conversation with his parents yet about taking on the responsibility of paying his part in that. In my family, it was always expected. So as soon as I got a car, I started paying my portion of the car insurance, but his family was just different. It's about $650 a year. There are 52 weeks in a year, so I just took that and divided by 52. Oopsies. Which gives us 12.5. I don't do decimals, I round up, so that makes this $13 a week. Same spiel with the phone bill. I pay my portion of my family's phone bill, and it is $13. It just happens to be around that same amount. So after those two, we have gifts. We typically only buy like birthday and Christmas presents. We try to spend $50 per person per event. However, this year we have had weddings, we've had births, and we have had like college graduations. So sometimes this gets a lot more money than other times. Next week, it'll be getting some more money because we have another graduation coming up where we will want to give a gift, right, or some money to that person. But this week, nothing is going on, so it is getting its regular $10. After that, we have pets. As I said, this is separate from groceries. So our lizards, we have two bearded dragons, Romeo and Juliet. They get crickets sometimes for extra protein. They have to get calcium powder, and then we feed them fruits and veggies, but they eat fruits and veggies that we don't necessarily like. Their main is collard greens. So that money comes out of pets because we don't eat it. Only they eat it. And then cat food, cat litter, flea medicine, all that stuff. So that gets $10 a week. After that, we have health. This was because last summer, I think maybe even before that, I got kicked off my mother's health insurance early. I just turned 26 a little while ago, and it's supposed to be good until the end of this year. But I got kicked off right after I turned 25 instead, so we think that there was a miscommunication in their system. I did finally get put back on, but for a few months there, I was having to pay for my own appointments and medications and things like that. So this is where that category stems from. I'm keeping it around and funded. We just now use it for hygiene products. So pads and tampons, but also like conditioner, things like that. We also use it for supplements and vitamins if we need any of that stuff. That comes out of this, and that gets $10 a week. So this week is different than our normal stuffings because we are hosting a 4th of July party, and my husband has said, hey, would you put some money aside in a fund for some things we would like to buy for the party? I think I'm going to name this seasonal and use it as like a seasonal rotation. So for instance, right now he wants to buy like some pool floaties and some like yard games, but at Halloween, we're gonna have to buy like Halloween costumes, and then during Christmas, we might want to buy stockings or something around the house. So I think instead of having it be like party supplies, broadening it out to be seasonal, get together, extra money. So he wants to buy a volleyball net for the pool, some floaties. I think he wants a cornhole set. I don't know how much all of that is, but I didn't want him to feel restraint too much. So I went ahead and budgeted everything and then decided what this amount could be. And this amount is $555, which is quite a bit higher than our sinking funds normally are. This brings our sinking funds this month up to $621. We do not have debt. We are very, very hardworking, and we worked really hard to not be in debt. So I'm happy every day, and I hope the best for everyone struggling still with debt. For savings, we have a saving account buffer. This is because we have some auto draft bills. So a little bit each week's go into here just to make sure if the internet bill were to go up one month, or if the YouTube premium went up or something, that the buffer would be in there to cover the difference so we don't overdraw. Then we have mine and my husband's Roth IRAs. We are having a goal this year to fully fund these. They are currently getting $135 a week. This again is because the max you can put in is 7,000. There are 52 weeks in a year, and we round up. So we also have a savings. Our next savings goal will be for a down payment on a house. And then we have a stock account. I got a 3% raise back in October, and I told myself any raises I get would go to a purpose. They would have a purpose. I'm not just going to lump them in with everything. And so that is $25, and it goes into this stock account. Savings did not get anything this week. We are taking a break to fill these sinking funds. And then I believe that will give buffer $1, but let's make sure here. So $523 for our expenses, $621 for our sinking funds. Well, that's incorrect. Oh, it is incorrect. Pardon me. This is a 9. Actually, yeah. It looks like this week we're also filling the pet sinking fund, and I had not seen that. So my apologies. I'm gonna go ahead and put another $300 into the pet sinking fund, because that is how much their vet appointments are in February. So that is what that amount is for. Sorry about that. That's more like it. So that gives us $296 to put towards savings this week. Oops, I messed that up. Oh golly. It's all right. 96. So 100, or this together is 270. The 25 from stocks saves us a single dollar for our buffer, which is just perfect. I like that to be between $1 and $4, because I feel like if it's a $5 bill, I should allocate it elsewhere. Thank you all so much for being here today. I'm super excited for this. I'll let you know what we buy with that seasonal money, or if it kind of stays in there. We'll have to see if he can decide what to buy with that. But I hope you all are having a fantastic day. I hope to see you in the next one. Have a good day, everyone.